Well, it's excited about that win. I think anytime you get a win, whether it's at home or on the road in this league, it's a positive for sure. So on the road, tough place to play in Martin. You're excited about getting out of there with a win because they always got a really good football team, and they do this year. I mean, Coach Simpson does a good job. You knew you was going to be in a full quarter kind of war with them, and they wasn't going to go away. And the game kind of laid out. We got off to a rough start, and they had a lot to do with that. And we had some self-inflicted things as well. But I think we played through that adversity, and that's kind of what I want to see this team do, for is face some adversity and have to respond to that. And I was really pleased with the way they responded to that after the first quarter, and it kind of settled in and. Took control of the game, and then you knew they wasn't going to go away, so they come back and made a two-score game there in the fourth quarter, and I loved that drive of how we responded, went right back down the field and scored, and kind of sealed the game with that drive. And we're looking forward to coming back home this week and not having to travel, get to play at home, and playing a really good SEMO team who, they're always good as well. And so it's going to be a good football game, and they got a really good team. So we're excited about being back at home playing.
John, how bad was Kobe Fuqua's injury, and where do things stand with Trey Berry?
Well, first, Fuqua is ankle. We'll know later this week kind of what his status is. Pretty severe, so we'll kind of find out, what the prognosis is on that moving forward, or what we're doing with him. And I don't know, we've got a rash of ankles, I think, right now. That's what Feaster's was, and his ended up being season-ending as far as a break. So I don't know about Fuqua yet. We'll find that out. And then, Trey Berry is in meetings practicing this week. We'll just have to kind of figure it out later in the week whether he's ready to go or not. And that's kind of timeline, I don't know. You're coming off ACL, you're dealing with a guy that was probably 75-80% in the fall and played, and luckily didn't bang it up any in the fall, and got it banged up. Took two pretty good licks on it in this spring season. So anxious to see how I thought he did really good last week, and I think he was close to being ready to play. So I'm thinking he's gonna be a lot closer this week, and we'll have chances to play this week. So he's doing everything he can do to get on the field. Just as far as rehab, and we consulted with all the doctors, and we're just trying to do our part to make sure he's well before we put him back out there again.
Your defense has been really good in short field situations. I looked it up. There have been 12 possessions this season started in your territory, only 3 touchdowns in that group. And what makes that?
Well, I think it's where do you want to be good at, for sure. I mean, you want to be good on third downs. You want to be good in the red zone. So if you can hold them to field goal attempts when they get in the red zone, boy, that's a sign of a really good defense. And I think we're just coming up with ways to make big plays down there. I mean, a tackle for a loss or a sack, or something like that. And the field gets shorter, and we're kind of stopping the run really well. So there's not any over the top throws, things like that people can do when they get in the red zone. So when you got to line up and run it, I think we're pretty good defending that. So we limit you in what you can do, offensively when that field shrinks down. And I think it's a lot of people's problem, is being able to get in the red zone and score, because offensively that's something we want to do ourselves. Is when you get it down there, you don't want to settle for 3. You want to get the ball in the end zone. But I think our defense has done, like you said, I didn't know how many attempts it was. I hadn't looked at that stat, but then that's a lot to just give up that many touchdowns. So we got to keep doing that and keep continuing to cause turnovers.
Coach Cross, could you talk about some progress past, or we always knew him as a runner, but he's giving you a lot of production throwing the ball?
Zion's got a really good arm, and I think it's the thing we've not seen from him before, because now he's getting to play every snap. You're kind of seeing him progress and get better, and I think he's getting better every game, which is what you want to see. And we didn't turn the ball over offensively on Sunday, which was a positive. First game we've had that. If we can do that, protect the ball, and he can be effective throwing the football along with our run game, that we're only going to get better offensively. So we hope we can continue in both of those areas of doing that. But I've been very pleased with how he's throwing the football. he really does. Dave's been with us for a while, but he's really come into his own. I mean, I think he's climbed his way kind of up the depth chart and playing more snaps than he's ever played before. So he's kind of a guy we're counting on, and just doing a really good job. Just excited about Nesby and just the way he's playing. He's a fun guy to be around. He practices hard every day, and just it's a joy to watch him get out there and make plays for sure. So he'll continue to do well, I'm sure. He's kind of, you see, he's this sophomore. He's almost like the grandfather of the D line, because they're still so young, and he's the older guy in the room for sure.
One other, a little bit offbeat, Coach. I know you have great appreciation for the history of the Jacksonville State program. This is the 400th game that Burgess Snow Field. Do you have any thoughts on the history that the field you guys get to play on has?
Wow. I mean, it'd be hard to sum up, kind of what the crowd will have, Sunday will be kind of a tribute to that. I think we got is the best fans in FCS football in the country, and passionate about JSU and going to school here, and the old home theme. I think everybody went to school here kind of knows and feels like JSU's that, and that's why we have so many people come back. So it's kind of special with it being the 400th game, and to put that in perspective, it's not like other sports where you're playing so many games in a year. The 400, I don't know what year it is, Mark. You'd have to correct me, but that's a lot of years of playing football in this stadium. I love to look back and see what the stadium looked like, in the first season, and you see the pictures of the wooden bleachers and things like that, and then see how it's progressed into what it is now. And it hadn't been a short time, that the home side and the new press box got done, so we've been able to enjoy that. So just the history of the football and the people that's come through playing, the people that's come through and been fans, you just know how special that is. A lot of places don't have that, and I think JSU is a special place, and I think the people that went here, they kind of know that, and it's like I said, it's not something to be overlooked. It's a blessing for sure.
One other thing I wanted to touch on, it looks like your punter's been giving you good production. I just want to get your thoughts on the job he was doing.
Well, he's settled into the role. I think he's really punted the ball well, and we had a really good competition going on, and he's kind of pulled away a little bit and just punting the ball consistently. And you got to think how young that group is. We had a snapper that before fall had never snapped in a college game, and we had a punter. They got a punter now that's just snapped in his first games this spring. So to have him being as consistent as where he's at is really been a good thing. And our kicker is a freshman too. So I think Jackson's doing a really good job punting the football, and hopefully we can stay consistent with that. And not only is he punting it good for average, he's locating the ball where we want it located, and so we, if he can continue doing that, we shouldn't have any problem, because our coverage units are doing really well too.
Pat Jackson's going to be up here in a little bit, and you've gotten already over 1,000 yards from the tailback position this season. I guess it kind of speaks to the depth you have there.
Well, those three that we're handing it to, pretty good players, and we're playing well up front, and I think they'd all three tell you that. They like running in behind them guys because they know they're going to play hard and get a hat on a hat, and they just got to do their part. And Pat's been doing a really good job of, doing his part. I thought he had his best game on Sunday. I mean, just breaking tackles and getting extra yardage, and he broke a few tackles on a third and long, and we ran the ball, and he picked up a big first down that we went on and scored a touchdown on. That was a big run in that game, and then he's hanging on to the ball. He had a couple turnovers, and we've kind of stayed with him, and he's run the ball, not turning it over, and got to continue doing that. But all three of those guys have, just it don't matter which one's back here, and our team knows that. I mean, they're gonna run the ball hard and be productive, and that way we stay. We're fresh legs as the game goes on, and that's a positive. So, like I said, just very proud of Pat's performance and how he's been progressing. Yes, I mean I think they're a solid team as always, and I think Coach Matukowicz has done a great job with that program, and they're a good year in year out. And they're good stopping the run and run the football, and you going in the game, you got to match that, and I think it's going to be a very physical game on Sunday, and we're just looking forward to the challenge of playing a really good football team, and just glad we're playing at home and got to make that 8-hour trip out there to play. So we're excited about Sunday.
We've been playing real good. I always tell my guys it's one family. We have one goal, and that's just to win and keep everybody up on the 100 rushing yard. That's our goal. We doing real good. We practice hard every week, and we just go out there and perform.
Questions for
Anthony, your defense has been really good when the other teams had the ball in your territory. There have been 12 possessions this season where the other team got the ball in your territory, and there's only been 3 touchdowns from that. What makes you all so good in those situations where you're back to the ball?
And we just believe we believe in each other. We all come out there and just play hard. We bow up. We bow up when it's time. We all just come out and do what we were coached to do.
Anthony, how is it being, even just as a sophomore on the roster, you've been here for a few years, how is it being a veteran, even as, where some people at this point in career may be another classman, how does it feel being a veteran so young in your career?
It was hard at first, but I learned from guys like Randy Robinson and Montrez Lane. They were my big brothers at the time, and they just taught me a lot. And I'm doing the same thing for the guys up under me. Just keep a smile on my face when things not going right, and just keep pushing, being a leader.
What would you say is the biggest reason of the defense's progression? Like you can see it game by game just how much y'all are clicking. What would you say from when you first started to now the big difference is?
Like I said, we all just chasing one goal and we just stand in together. And the biggest progression I can say, we just everybody being selfless. Doing our job. And when something happen bad, it's always one mistake, and we just trying to cut down on mistakes, and I just trying to stay in and stay focused.
Anything else for Anthony, guys? Thanks so much, man. Good job.
I didn't want to know about my background. Oh, y'all want to hear about my background?
Yeah, I want to hear anything you can talk about.
Oh, well, yeah, back in high school, I played quarterback. A lot of people don't believe that, but I have a real great arm. So I played quarterback my freshman and sophomore year in high school, but I ended up gaining a lot of weight because I ended up getting a concussion. And my grandma, she just fed me a lot. She just continued to feed me and made sure I was okay. And that's how I got so big. And when I got back from my concussion, they moved me to linebacker. And, I just kept eating and getting bigger. And so they moved me to D-line, and I was good at it. I guess I was an athlete.
So do you want to challenge Zion for his job?
I told Coach Gross to put on the goal line play for me. I can throw it. I can throw it real good.
The run game been going pretty well this season. The O-line's been blocking really good, and we got 3 good backs. It's me, Josh, and Uriah. All 3 of us running really well. We do. I think we're pretty good. All 3 of us pretty good overall backs. So we don't have to come in on situations he comes in third down, he's on goal line, whatever. All 3 of us could do everything. So I think that's it helped keep defenses on their heels because when one of us is out, another one's right up. So it keeps going and going and going. So the running game's been going pretty well.
Can you talk about your relationship with the other 2 running backs? It seems like you guys have a good thing.
When I first got here, it's pretty shaky because it's I'm competing with those guys, so I don't want to be too buddy with them and all that. But now it's just we bond well. It's kind of we realize okay, all 3 of us good. All 3 of us could really do this. So we just bond. We're really tight, and we continue to get closer and closer day by day. So them my dudes though. who's the funniest out of the three, I would definitely have to say it's Josh. Cause I mean, like me, I could be funny, I say a joke every now and then, but like Josh is like the, life of the party funny, like, everybody, like class clown funny type. Uriah, he could be funny too, but me and Uriah more like laid back, chill, but Josh is more like, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, definitely Josh though.
Can you take us through your recruitment and how you wound up at JSU?
Okay, so I came from, originally I'm from Columbus, Mississippi, went to Columbus High School, but I went to JUCO straight out of high school. So at Mississippi Delta, my sophomore year, I really came on. My sophomore year, I had a really good sophomore campaign, and like recruitment was going pretty slow for me. It started off, I got my first offer from Alcorn, I went on a visit up there, but it just wasn't, I didn't feel like that was home. And then got a call from Coach Oga one day. He was talking to me, recruiting me. Then, because JSU started recruiting me late, so he talked to me, came and saw me at the school. We talked. Then I came on a visit here. Like as soon as I got here, like I just knew it. Like I knew this was home. I knew this was where I was coming. So yeah, it's like I'm glad they recruited me, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad everything is going how it's going. So yeah.
Even though this is your first year here, did the fall kind of help you get ready for this spring? Does it almost feel like this is your second season at JSU as opposed to first?
Yeah, I kind of look at the fall. The 4 games we played in the fall was kind of like a I guess you could say like a preseason. It kind of like gave me like a feel of okay, this is how it's gonna be. Like, the step from JUCO to D1 football is like kind of gave me like where I was. Like okay, how good I was versus the competition, and like it was just like it's like a trial run, like like a free 30-day trial run, something like that. Like I kind of got my feet wet, kind of see how things was gonna go, how the offense flows, how the game goes, the energy and all that. So like yeah, I think that really helped me. I mean, I hate like COVID-19 and the way it's playing out and it's going with everything, but I kind of appreciate like the 4 games we played in the fall to like now. So now like I really like I found my stride.
By the time the fourth quarter rolls around, I imagine you're probably feeling pretty fresh when you guys, splitting carries the way you do. If you feel that way, how much does that help y'all offensively?
That really helps us a lot. Like it really helps us a lot because we rotate every drive, so every time we step on the field, we're fresh, like we're ready to go. I mean, some drives, we'll get 4, 5, 6 touches in a row. Then we may have to come out if you make a big play or whatever. But pretty much all the other times we're fresh, we're ready to go. So like fourth quarter, we still pounding defenses. They still like tired of tackling us. So like yeah, we love it.